Believe it or not, broken homes are illustrated in the Bible very clearly, starting with Cain and Abel. They were two brothers that hated each other, and it ended in murder. An eighth generation of descendant from Adam called Lamech, he brought polygamy into the human race. Abraham himself was a liar. He lied about Sarah being his sister twice because he was so afraid of what other people would want to do with his wife if they found out she was his wife. And then he slept with Sarah's maid, had a child, and abandoned both mother and child. Noah, the best of his generation, and we know the story, at the end, after the ark had settled and they were back on the earth, his son saw him naked, and Noah turned around and cursed his son and cursed that line. It's a tragedy. Even Isaac and Rebekah were constantly in battle over a favorite child. Jacob and Esau, again, brothers that hated each other, and Esau literally spent years trying to kill Jacob. Jacob stole his birthright. And Joseph, unfavored by his brothers, that enmity between them as siblings, and they sold their youngest brother to slavery. And then they lied about it 4 years, this deep, dark secret that festered. The whole point in book 1 of the Bible, Genesis, is to show us that God takes broken people and broken families and works to redeem. It's a simple truth that is easily overlooked in our world because broken families are still so very, very common. There are troubles between mothers and daughters, fathers and sons, narcissism, brokenness, sins that are allowed to pervade, family curses, you name it. We all know it. We've all been touched by it at some point. How do we work to redeem these situations? And I know that it doesn't come from our own power. We have to invite God in. And that's the first point. Let's invite God into these stories. Let's stop trying to control these outer circumstances that we cannot, and begin to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not things that you impose on other people. Boundaries simply are the things that we can enforce for ourselves. Sometimes a genuine boundary needs to be in place that I cannot visit you if this circumstance is going on. You can uphold that, and it's not imposing that on other family members. So when you understand that about boundaries, it becomes that much clearer. You have to be willing to pay the price. The second thing I want you to understand is that messes can be cleaned up. We all know that. We're all not beyond the reach of the Father. He loves us. He died for us. He has hope in humanity. That's why He came. And so all of us can be reached. All of us, even the hopeless cases, can be pursued by the Holy Spirit and cleaned up by the Holy Spirit. Our pastor says really clearly that God can use our mess and change it into a message, and take our scars and turn them into stars. How many of us have testimonies of God's radical transformation? Believe in people. Believe that the mess can be clean. It's a beautiful thing, and you're living out of a place of hope instead of despair. The next thing I thought, which I love, is gardening. Grow a garden. We know the principle of what we plant, we will reap. But did you also know that when you plant a garden, that seed is put in utter darkness? That all good things and all life comes out of darkness? Even Psalm 139 talks about how we were knit together in the darkness of our mother's wombs. Life comes out of darkness. We are not promised a life without trial, without hardship, without life throwing ugly things at us. But life can come out of darkness when we give him those things to bring new life. The Bible also says that all things work together. That literally means all, the bad and the good. He's working for your benefit. He's working to have your life be a testimony of his goodness, of his grace, of his kindness. So grow a garden. And I talked about this a little bit earlier, but allow God into your story. Just simply invite him. Sometimes we need a revelation, and if we're not seeking it, we're not going to find it. The Bible does say, draw close to God, and he will draw close to you. Draw close. Allow him in. Allow him to touch the parts of your story that you're ashamed of even. Because he wants to touch those areas, and he wants to bring new life in those dark places. Have an awesome day today.